You've read all the blogs, you've done the deep breathing, you've done the emotion charts, the calm down corners, yet your child is still melting down over what seems like nothing. And you've done everything right. So why does it keep happening? Why did it keep melting down? Here's the truth that most parenting advice leaves out. It's not that it's wrong. It's that it's incomplete, especially for neurodivergent kids. Today, I want to show what's going on in your child's brain when they become dysregulated and what actually works when everything else seems not to. Hi, I'm Dr. James Thatcher. I'm a child psychologist. I work at Forest Psychological Clinic up in Portland, Oregon, and I specialize in working with kids who are neurodivergent, especially kiddos that have ADHD and autism. And I've helped a lot of families move from daily meltdowns and power struggles to connection and emotional growth. So today, I want to get into several reasons why this occurs and how to help with that. So let's dive into the real story behind emotional regulation. We think of regulation as just calming down, but it's actually three different things. Noticing how you're feeling, understanding why you're feeling that way, and then responding in a way that makes sense for that moment in time. Sounds super easy, right? But there's a catch. In kids, their brain systems are still developing. In kids with ADHD and autism, that development can look very different from neurotypical kids. Most advice skips to, how do we teach kids to self-regulate? But here's the truth. Most kids don't learn self-regulation through doing a worksheet. They learn it through co-regulation. So what does this mean? Your calm becomes their calm. Your nervous system shows them what safety looks like. And it's your presence, not your words, that's often the intervention. Now I want to go over what parents get wrong about this because they're told the wrong thing. And I want to bust three different myths that I see on a regular basis. Myth number one is that they should know how to calm down by now, but their brain can't regulate if it feels unsafe or if there's a threat. Myth number two is that they're just being defiant. Dysregulation is different than defiance. It's distress. And I want to impress upon you that there is a difference between having a meltdown and a tantrum. A tantrum, there is a goal in mind. They're trying to get something out of you. But we're talking about a meltdown. And I made another video on this. I'll put a link at the very end that goes into the differences between what a meltdown is versus a tantrum. But today we're talking about a meltdown. And myth number three is that they're too old for this reaction. Regulation skills don't always match the person's age. And this is especially true for neurodivergent individuals. Now let's talk about what actually works. I'm going to talk about 5 strategies that I use with families every day as a therapist and that I use at home as a parent. Tool number 1 is co-regulation comes first. Before you teach, coach, or correct, you've got to connect. So use a soft voice. Try not to make a lot of eye contact. And sometimes just sitting near them and breathing is all that's really needed. So let me share a story about my son. He's a toddler, and he'll have tantrums and meltdowns. And what I'll do when little handsome, that's what I call him, is little handsome, is having a little bit of a meltdown. Sometimes he just needs my presence. So I'm not sitting there engaging with him. Oh, calm down, picking him up and holding him. Sometimes all he really needs is for me to sit down by him. I'm not making eye contact. I use a nice calm voice. Hey, I'm going to sit right here. And I just breathe. And he continues to cry for a little bit. But what I'll notice, sometimes he'll calm down on his own and he'll start to breathe with me and calm down. Sometimes it's just your presence that they need. So they can look at you and you're modeling it and you're co-regulating with them. That's what this is. That's all it is. Tool number 2 is to help them externalize the feeling. So kids that have these big emotions and have meltdowns, these feelings can feel like they're trapped inside of their body. So we need to get that out. Remember, kids have difficulty expressing their emotions verbally. They may not have the verbal skills to get these things out. So we've got to use other methods. That could mean zones of regulation, emotion charts, being creative when it comes to toys, Legos, and colors. Let me give you an example. So where in therapy, one tool that I might use is to draw a gingerbread man. And no matter what sort of emotion that we're talking about, maybe it's anger, or sadness, or anxiety, we can draw it out. So if they're anxious, maybe they use a green crown and draw a lot of green around their stomach because their stomach feels achy. Or maybe they use a red crown on their hands or their face because their face is getting really hot. Or they take black and they put dots all over their head because their thinking isn't that clear. These things can help them express their emotions non-verbally, but it still gets it out. Tool number 3 is to teach these skills outside of the crisis. So you can't teach swimming while the boat is sinking. You've got to practice these things before and after the crisis. So you can role play these together. You can run through different scenarios with them. You can also do what's called a toolkit, a safety toolkit. So where they can have something and they can put pictures of their family or pieces of chocolate or a fidget toy, something that helps calm them down so they can go to this toolkit and help them calm down. And I can go into way more detail about what a safety toolkit can include and what it looks like and how to use it for different scenarios. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment down below and I'll make a video about it. Tool number 4 is to support their sensory needs. Kids aren't necessarily acting out. Rather, they're overwhelmed by the different sensory issues that are going on in their environment. Loud noises, tags, with different food textures, smells. These things are very real and it can be overpowering and overstimulating and even painful for kids on the autism spectrum. And these issues are also very common in kids and folks with ADHD. So let me give you an example. So where you may find that folks that have neurodivergence have difficulty going out to the movie theater. I mean, think about it. There's a lot of sensory issues that are going on when you're there. The different smells, the noises, the lights that happen. And there's a theater here in Oregon, down in Salem, called Northern Lights Theater Pub. And it's actually very sensitive to children's sensory needs, to where the lights are just dimmed a little bit and they're allowed to get up and move around. The volume is way down low. So finding different environments like this that can support their sensory needs are essential. Tool number 5 is predictability reduces panic. Unexpected changes can feel like danger to a dysregulated brain. So we've got to use visual schedules. Use lots of photos, pictures, lists of what's coming next. Even fun little surprises can be a big deal and cause a meltdown. Let me give you an example. I was a caseworker and I worked with a young adult that was on the autism spectrum. And I thought at the time, now I was in grad school, I thought at the time that, hey, it'd be fun to take this person out bowling. I didn't warn him. I came over, and this was my job. I would typically go over, we would go out, take him out and about around the town, learn social skills, things like that. But I usually went by a schedule. He knew when I was coming over. But today I thought, man, it'd be great to just take him out bowling. So I went over unannounced, and guess how he reacted? Yeah, it was not pretty. He was very upset. He really wasn't doing anything that day. I knew his schedule. He wasn't doing anything, so I thought it'd be a nice surprise. It was not. He did not expect me. He had a meltdown. And looking back at that, I can understand why. That makes sense to me. He didn't expect it. This just came out of nowhere. He expected the day to go a different way. It didn't, and that was very upsetting. So now I've given you all these different strategies and things to consider. I want you to remember something. As a parent, as a teacher, as a caregiver, that you're not behind. You're not doing these things wrong. This is hard. And sometimes these things need to be adjusted. And sometimes you just need to do some co-regulation. But what your child never needs is for you to be perfect. So the next time that your child is having a meltdown or seemingly fall apart, ask yourself, can I be calm enough to make them feel calm? Can I make their nervous system feel safe? Can I see their behavior as communication and not defiance? Because you're not just teaching your child how to regulate. You're teaching them how to feel safe, that they're loved, and that by having these emotions, they're not unworthy. And that, more than anything, is going to help your child grow.